The Texas Rangers have been the comeback kids lately, and that may not be real good for Ron Washington's blood pressure, but it sure is exciting to watch. And last night's comeback kept the Rangers a game ahead of the Angels in the West. Now the team begins a 10-game tour through the division, and it begins tonight with the Seattle Mariners. Matt Harrison looks to keep Texas on top as he goes for win number 10 next on Fox Sports Southwest. Taking 2 of 3 over the weekend against the Cleveland Indians, back to AL West divisional play beginning tonight, a 3-game series here at Rangers Ballpark against the Seattle Mariners. And welcome, Dave Barnett along with Tom Grieve. We've said this a few times lately, but the Rangers again tonight will have a pretty tough act to follow after the 5-run 8th inning, after trailing going into the inning 3-0. And one of the biggest hits was the pinch hit RBI single from David Murphy.
Yeah, it was a great inning because so many people participated in the comeback, but the Rangers loaded the bases with nobody out, and David Murphy pinch hit for Endy Chavez, and he got a fastball that he could handle from Joe Smith, and he laced it into center field. That drove in the first run of the rally. Rangers would go on to score 5, go on to win the ball game, but that was the first big hit. And David, over his last 16 games, has started to look a lot like David Murphy. His average is in the 350s. He's scored 10 runs. He's knocked in 5, and he's in the lineup tonight.
Actually scored the winning run last night. In the lineup again, and Matt Harrison will take a crack at his first career 10-win seasons. Harrison very sharp of late. He goes tonight against one of the newest members of the Seattle rotation, Charlie Furbush. First pitch coming up. Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By the Progressive Insurance Group. For money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. By Jack in the Box. Come try the new Jumbo Breakfast Platter for just $2.99. And by Southwest Airlines, new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Getting close to game one of the series, Rangers-Mariners, and let's check in down below with Rick Renner.
Guys, Matt Harrison going for a career-high 10th victory tonight. This guy's been unbelievable at home. He was undefeated in July, and I talked to him about his mental approach and how it's changed this year from last year.
Definitely turned the corner this year, I think, mentally. I think that's been the biggest key for me this year is being able to keep that mental focus and mental toughness in tough situations when I get guys on base and I get myself in a jam. And for the most part, I'm able to get myself out of those jams this year without giving up too many runs.
That's our Geico quote, and it is interesting because against one of the game's best hitters in Ichiro has a 190 average against Matt Harrison. That is the second lowest by any pitcher. Hopefully, that'll continue tonight, guys.
That would be a big key. Ichiro with just 4 hits and 21 at-bats against Matt Harrison. Only 1 run batted in. Having, to this point, the worst year of his major league career. The Rangers will try to continue that trend for Ichiro as they take the field. The Mariners starting lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. As usual, we'll begin with Ichiro leading off in right field. Jack Wilson batting second and short. Rookie Dustin Ackley at second, batting third. Mike Karp is hitting cleanup and playing first. The catcher Miguel Olivo, followed by the DH Casper Wells. Like Furbus, just over from the Tigers. Adam Kennedy is at third. Franklin Gutierrez in center. And rookie Trayvon Robinson in left field. And batting ninth against Matt Harrison tonight.
It's been a nice season for Matt. He talked about one of the big reasons is his mental focus, mental toughness. He's played a huge part in his success. Winning record in ERA right around 3. But since May 6th, that covers about 15 starts. His ERA has been 2.57. His last 5 home starts have gone really well, pitching in this ballpark. 3-0, a 2.08 ERA during that time. Last start was in Detroit. Didn't have his best stuff that day, but thought it was a great example of his mental toughness and pitching without his best stuff. Ended up giving 4 runs in that game. Gave a home run to his last hitter. Otherwise, he had a great chance at a quality start.
Here's the Ranger defense today. Behind Matt Harrison. In the outfield, David Murphy starting and playing left. Josh Hamilton in center. Cruz in right. The infield, Young, Andrews, Kinsler, and Moreland with Mike Napoli doing the catching. Michael Young's first game since his 2000th career hit last night. He got 1999 and 2K, both on pretty much identical infield hits. Roll down the third base line. Got that banner immediately unfurled out there in center field, and a long, well-deserved ovation, which included the Indians players and their manager, Matty Acta. So a very special night for Michael last night. Back to work tonight on a 104-degree evening.
I love the headline in one of the newspapers today. 2 grand, T-O-O, grand. Very clever.
That was perfect. So Michael at third, 1-1 pitch, grounded to second. And Ian Kinsler there to retire Ichiro.
Ian makes that play like it's a video game. The ball just hits his glove and automatically goes right to first base accurately.
He had a very busy night. Last night he had 8 assists, which tied his season high.
Yeah, he's playing great defense. He's converted almost every routine play. And Ian never had a problem making the spectacular plays because of his athletic ability. Great range, strong arm. So he continues to do that. And to that, he's added almost impeccable fielding on all routine plays. He and Elvis turned double plays as well as any double play combination in the league.
And a lot of them with Matt Harrison on the mound, of course. He has induced 26 Double play grounders. That's 4 more than any other pitcher in either league. 1-1 here to Jack Wilson. Wilson back at shortstop. He played third his first career start at third Wednesday against Oakland. Back to short for all 3 games in Anaheim. This year mostly at second base. And this roller bounces off of Moreland, and his throw dropped by Harrison. A very close play at first base.
Oh, just a weakly hit ground ball. Took a little hop on Mitch. He couldn't handle it. It looked like he picked it up just in time to get the play at first. It's tough to say. It looked like he might have been safe anyway. It's all academic when Matt was unable to handle the throw anyway.
So that is an E3 error charge to Mitch Moreland.
That ball had a lot of spin on it and really came up on Mitch. Took a big hop right at the end.
So 1 on with 1 out for Dustin Ackley, who has had a terrific rookie year.
I think one of the signs that this kid can really hit is he's hitting .299 against left-handed pitching. It's almost the same against lefties as he has against righties. I noticed in their notes he had a home run against Johnny Venters, the all-star lefty bullpen specialist from the Braves. That was the first extra base hit he gave up at that time. So if you're a left-hand hitter and you take that guy deep, it's a pretty good sign that you can handle the bat.
Well, that .301 average by Ackley leads all American League rookies. First round pick just 2 years ago out of North Carolina. This should be 2 right here. 6-4-3. And the Rangers work around the Moreland error in a 10-pitch first inning for Matt Harrison. Kinsler and the Rangers coming to bat. In the Rangers dugout, just off a couple of days of paternity leave in the Dominican Republic, and set to start game 2 of this series tomorrow. He will oppose Michael Pineda. But in the meantime, the Rangers Southwest Airlines starting lineup begins with Kinsler, Andrews, Hamilton playing center, Michael Young again batting cleanup at third, Cruz in right, Napoli catching. Torrealba is the DH tonight with Moreland at first and Murphy in left field. And Charlie Furbush about to make his second start as a Seattle Mariner.
He's seen most of his outings this year as a reliever with the Tigers, but he has had 3 starts. He was acquired from Detroit right at the trade deadline. Wednesday against Oakland, he had a start with Seattle and pitched really well. 5 innings, was on a pitch count. Only 2 hits and 1 run, didn't walk a batter.
He was actually perfect through 4 1/3 innings in that matchup. As the first pitch sails just a little bit to Kinsler.
Yeah, the Tigers wanted Doug Fister, and he's a good, solid, I won't call him a veteran, but he has been in the big leagues for a couple of years. I think they were looking more for a sure thing. But you have to think in Furbush, Seattle got a young, developing left-hander that they're happy with, and over the next few years, we'll probably see the other players, two of the other players that they got. Casper Wells was one of them. He's playing for them right now, position player. They got a young third baseman that's supposed to be a terrific player, and a player to be named later that'll be a good player. So Seattle helped themselves for the future for sure.
Furbush behind Kinsler here, 3 balls and a strike. Ian last night 0 for 2, but with 2 walks, including the bases loaded walk in the 8th inning, and he scored the 5th and final run. And looks at strike 2 at the knees. Paul Schreiber tonight is the home plate umpire, with Chad Fairchild at first, crew chief Joe West at second, and Sam Holbrook is at third. And the 3-2 pitch is popped up. Drifting back into short right is Ackley, and he is called off by Ichiro for the first out. Trayvon Robinson and Franklin Gutierrez in the outfield, with Kennedy, Wilson, Ackley, and Carr for the infield, and Miguel Olivo behind the plate. So here's Elvis Andrus. 1 hit last night in 4 trips. It was the 2-run game-winning hit. As he continues to make the entire Cleveland Indians staff his favorite. He has hit in all 20 games he's ever played against the Indians. Comes in tonight with an 11-game hitting streak. Equals the best he's had this year. And a check swing confirmed by Chad Fairchild at first. And it's 1-1 to Elvis. See the delivery that Furbush uses. A little bit on the funky side. Very deceptive to the hitter.
He's tall and lanky with a lot of moving parts. Not an exceptionally hard thrower, but that last pitch popped in there at 92, so he's got plenty of fastball. Kind of like Fister, really. Fister was 89 to 92. Really knew how to pitch.
That one in the hole. Backhand pick by Wilson. High throw. And Elvis is safe and will take second base.
An infield hit and there on the shortstop for the high throw. A really quick throw by Wilson, and if it was accurate, it would have been a very close play at first base. Nice backhand, and look how quickly he gets rid of it. But because of how he had to rush his throw, it made it difficult to throw it accurately. And the Rangers get a break. Doesn't bounce off any of the protection for the dugout. Goes right into the dugout. Didn't hit the railing. Rangers are able to get the extra base because of the overthrow.
So it is an infield hit and an E6 charge to Wilson, and Elvis has a 12-game hitting streak now, his longest of the year. And here's Josh Hamilton. He had his own 11-game hit streak ended last night. Still had a key at bat, though. RBI ground out to complete the 5-run 8th. And Elvis will bear watching. With 31 stolen bases, top 3 in the league. Oh, and 2 as Hamilton can't reach the breaking pitch. Rangers taking the series last night. They won 3 of their last 4. And for the 6th consecutive day, start play 1 game ahead of the Angels, who are idle today. Tomorrow night they open up the series at Yankee Stadium. Oh, chopper back to the mound. Furbush looking Andrus back to second base, and there's out number 2. And that brings up Michael Young, who said after picking up hit number 2,000 last night, when asked if he thought about 3,000 hits, all I'm worried about is number 2001.
Perfect answer.
He became the 11th fastest major leaguer to the 2,000 mark, the 3rd fastest right-handed hitter, behind Hall of Famers Al Simmons and Rogers Hornsby. He comes in with his own hitting streak at 7 straight. And 15 of his last 16. He even got there faster than Ted Williams did.
More at bats, more games, not as many walks.
And here it was. Nolan Ryan enjoyed it. Monty Chisenhall with the bare hand, but no chance to get Michael at first base. And the ball and a strike. Michael actually now 3rd in batting. Adrian Gonzalez still very comfortably atop the American League. And former Mariner Casey Kochman having a career year. Slight percentage point ahead of Michael, both listed at 336. And he has feasted on Seattle pitching over the year. Those 99 RBIs, 17 home runs, also the most Young has had against any opponent. With the Seattle staff, 2nd in the league in earned run average. Toughest to hit. The opponent batting average is just 237. The most strikeouts. The most complete games in the league. A breaking ball hit well to center field, but Gutierrez, playing him over there, will take care of out number 3. Rangers get a hit. Mariners get an error. 0-0 into the 2nd. Inning for the Seattle Mariners. In the meantime, let's check in with Jim Knox.
All right, Dave, Community Corner tonight and part of the National Service and Remembrance Day of the upcoming 10th anniversary of September 11th attacks. Celebrating the 10th anniversary there, the Rangers are proud to be the presenting sponsor of the North Texas Volunteer Challenge. Join the Ranger teams in giving back to the community on Saturday, September 10th. All the volunteers will start at the Texas Rangers Youth Ballpark and help out throughout the Metroplex. Those interested, please log on to TexasRangers.com. Then click on Donate Your Time. Click on Donate Your Time. How about these Ranger fans? Ready to go? I think they're ready.
Sounds like. Here's Mike Karp, who rolls one to Kinsler, much as Ichiro did to begin the 1st inning.
In his Matt's last start against Detroit, he didn't have good command of his fastball. He wasn't able to throw it for as many strikes as he wanted, and he couldn't move it from one side of the plate to the other. But he did have a really good curveball. That was his best pitch. That allowed him to get through 6 innings in that game. And that pitch that Carp just grounded to second was a curveball. And as that curveball keeps coming along, he'll get tougher and tougher on left-hand hitters. Left-hand hitters have hit pretty well against Matt. In fact, they've hit 300 against him this year. But that curveball can neutralize that to a degree, the better it gets.
That game, Matt was pitching out of the stretch almost constantly. He allowed base runners in all of the 6 innings. That is to persevere, get through 6 on 109 pitches. But it snapped his personal 3-game winning streak. And trying to get Olivo looking inside, a little bit too much inside.
Yeah, I think it was one of those games where without his good stuff, if he'd pitched that game sometime in the last couple of years, there's probably a pretty good chance he wouldn't have lasted 6 innings. But he's a better pitcher now. His makeup is stronger, and he's able to do that now. And there's the curveball.
It takes care of Olivo. First strikeout, second out here in the 2nd inning.
That curveball can be a strikeout pitch for him. Drops it right on the outside corner.
So with 2 outs, here's Casper Wells, the DH tonight, one of 4 rookies in the lineup. And again, 11 of their 25 on the roster are rookies. They've actually played as many as 13 rookies this year in Seattle. And Wells over with Charlie Furbush in the Detroit Tiger end of that deal. He's a 14th round pick in 2005 out of Towson State, former Ranger manager Billy Hunter's program. Wells coming after the Hunter regime had ended.
I can remember, good changeup. I can remember one year the Rangers opened the season in Baltimore, and the stadium wasn't available for the workout the day before, and so we went out to Towson State when Billy was the athletic director. He had coached there, coached baseball there, and then became the athletic director. And he made his field available to the Rangers.
Casper Wells in school there actually thought what more of a broadcasting career than a baseball playing career. They had a great program there. Not a great 2nd inning though for Wells and the Mariners. 1, 2, 3, couple of strikeouts. Matt Harrison very sharp so far. The ultimate online experience for fans. You can log on to take part in the most interactive forum during Rangers games with stats, trends, exclusive analysis, and live Twitter feeds. Plus, you can even share your thoughts with our game broadcast. Fox Sports Game Connect, now available on foxsportssouthwest.com. Ball one to Nelly Cruz, trying to snap out of an 0 for 15. Last night, 3 ground outs and a strikeout.
Now, one thing that I'm sure the Rangers will be aware of is the way Furbish falls off toward third base. For someone like Elvis, who is a very good bunter and can push a bunt, you can push a bunt towards second base, and it'd be pretty difficult for Furbish to get to it.
That one is well hit. Robinson turns the wrong way. Doesn't matter. It's out of here. And that is the way to end an 0 for 15 slump.
Well, that sure didn't look like a home run off the bat. Looked like a line drive to the left fielder, and then you said, whoa, that's going to carry right over his head. And then, whoa, it carried right out of the ballpark. A lot of happy faces down there. They know Nelly was 0 for 15. They're happy for him. It's a slider right down the center of the plate.
Here is Mike Napoli at a curve for a strike.
Nice timing, nice swing, and just enough distance to get it over the sign in left field.
392 feet, to be exact. 25th of the year for Nelly, and his 16th against Seattle all time. That's the most he's had against any opponent. Mike Napoli waiting for the 0-2 pitch. Shows his good eye. Last night, 1 for 1, but with 2 walks. Scored a run. He continues to augment his power with the great eye at the plate. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mike has had a lot of shots like the one we just saw from Cruz. 5 homers in his last 9 games. 18 for the year, playing not quite 2/3 of the schedule so far. And this one grounded sharply right under the glove of Kennedy and into the corner. Robinson digs it up out there. Napoli into second base with a double.
I was getting all ready to say, man, Kennedy is playing right on top of the line with a lefty pitching to Mike Napoli. And I'm thinking he's going to take the double away from him, and he let it get right by him. A lot of times that ball is right down the line. The third baseman's nowhere near it. But the Mariners have positioned themselves to play Napoli as an extreme pull hitter in the infield. And so Kennedy was there in position to catch it. He just didn't get it.
Very hard hit, and they will call that an error. E5 charge to Kennedy.
Yeah, I'd love to get a hit, and I'd like to see Mike get a hit, but that, I think, is a play Kennedy should have made.
So here is Yorvit Torrealba. Another Ranger with a hitting streak, 6 straight for Yorvit. And there is Mike Napoli, safe at second, safe and secure New York life. Well, already 3 errors in this game. 1 at each inning by Mariner infielders, with Wilson's throwing error in the first, but they worked around that. A little different situation here with nobody out in Napoli in scoring position. Furbish, a very deliberate worker, and the breaking ball grounded to Ackley, but a useful out as he advances the runner, and Napoli now with 1 out is at third base for Mitch Moreland.
Very useful out, and that's exactly what Torrealba was trying to do, go the other way. Now he's trying to get a base hit, obviously, but in the event you don't roll it through the infield, the ground ball to second, moves the runner to third with one out, and give Mitch a chance to drive in a run. Mariners will play the infield almost in, probably 2/3 of the way in at shortstop and second base, almost even with a bag on the corners. Definitely trying to cut the run off.
Mitch Moreland in the lefty-lefty matchup here. His hitting streak coming in is at 4. 1 hit per game in that stretch, 4 for 13. Started to draw some walks as well. 3 over the last 4 games. That's as many as he had about the previous month.
Yeah, and I think that at times when Mitch is struggling, that's a good point. He needs to concentrate on laying off the slow pitches that are down and out of the strike zone.
That one well hit into left center field, a base hit. And that scores Napoli, and it is 2-0 Rangers.
There's times where Mitch and all hitters get a little over anxious, and that causes them to swing at some pitches a little bit out of the strike zone. But this particular time, he gets a good fastball to hit right in the center of the plate. Does a great job of hitting it hard, picking up another run.
RBI number 35 for Mitch Moreland. And here is David Murphy, fresh off his pinch hit, bases loaded single last night. He has 3 of the Rangers' pinch RBIs now on the year. Murphy making his 68th start. At a much more frequent rate in the first half of the season, of course, much of that with Josh Hamilton on the DL. But Ron Washington going with Murphy's bat tonight. Andy Chavez in a slump, which extended through the weekend. Craig Gentry will be here on Wednesday. They're going to give him a couple of extra days of rehab at AAA Round Rock. And here it was last night, 8th inning, loaded up. Murphy hitting for Chavez.
A big hit for the Rangers. Bases loaded, nobody out. Drove in the first run of that big 5-run inning.
David said he had started to loosen up as early as the 6th inning last night. And he expected to go in at some point in the 8th, but he thought it would be as a pinch runner. But he had prepared himself to pinch hit, and the result was obvious. Takes a walk here.
It was just a game where I think Ron Washington felt that David had a better chance to go up than Endy Chavez in that particular at bat. Endy hadn't swung the bat too well in a couple of at bats, and Ron just played a hunch, thought that David would be the better guy in that situation, made a great call. That's a huge part of the game right there.
Well, Coca-Cola Total Family Packs offer savings up to 50% for Sunday through Thursday Rangers games. You can choose from upper or lower reserve seats and receive 4 tickets, hot dogs and Cokes, plus $20 in sports park tokens and a souvenir program. You can order online at TexasRangers.com/family. Carl Willis, Seattle pitching coach, has completed his chat, and back to the top of the order now at Ian Kinsler. Ian worked a full count before flying out to Ichiro in right, his first time up. Two runs in here. Still only 1 out. And 2 aboard for Kinsler. Rangers last night got only 7 base hits. They were all singles. First time in over a year they had a 5-run inning with no extra base hits. And another pop-up. Foul territory. Carp over there with room. There's out number 2. So it'll be up to Elvis Andrews to try and keep the Rangers second going, with Moreland at second, Murphy at first. First time up, infield hit, took second on the throw by Wilson from shortstop. Furbush nearing the 40 pitch mark. There's number 39, and it is in there for strike one.
Yeah, Elvis had a terrific at bat when he drove in the tying and go ahead runs last night with the bases loaded. He was behind a tough pitcher, Joe Smith, sidearm pitcher with a good slider, but Smith made a mistake with 2 strikes, 1 ball, 2 strikes, hung the slider, and Elvis had a great approach and drove it into right center. Another huge hit in that inning.
And with what the Rangers did to Smith in that inning, they added 50% to his earned run average.
Wow.
It was 123, best in the American League when he took the mound. It's now near 190.
That's one of the things about being a relief pitcher. You don't have that many innings, and when you get popped for 4 or 5 runs, it really adds up.
Kennedy coming in from third. He gets Elvis by a step. And that ends the Rangers second, but they get a couple of runs. The first on the Nelson Cruz line shot just over the wall in left center field. All on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And by AT Rethink Possible. Adam Kennedy takes ball 1, leading off the Mariner third. 7, 8, and 9 hitters to face Matt Harrison. And that one lifted into shallow left for Murphy over near the line.
Great pitch count for Matt so far. He's getting some quick outs, throwing a lot of strikes. Only throwing 25 pitches.
Faced the minimum by getting the double play after Wilson reached on the Moreland error in the first.
After the start that Derek had to leave early in, the Ranger bullpen had really been used a lot. Scott Feldman had pitched several innings, thrown a lot of pitches, had a little bit of a blister problem. So the last couple of nights, the bullpen has been very thin. Darren O'Day was called up to bolster the bullpen. But fortunately, C.J. Wilson and Colby Lewis both pitched deep into the games the last 2 nights, which really helped. And I'm sure the bullpen could use the same for Matt tonight. But it's funny how the bullpen works. Sometimes you'll go a couple of weeks and the manager has to look out to the bullpen with a pitching coach and say, okay, how are we going to get everybody enough work out there to keep them sharp? And then you go through a stretch like this and pitching coach and the manager looking out there going, who's available tonight? How are we going to get through 9 innings or an extra inning game if it goes that far? Well, it seems like you're trying to manage things out there.
2-2 to Franklin Gutierrez. Yeah, last night there were only 4 available arms, but during the 12-game winning streak, that was a stretch where, as you said, the real issue was how to get guys work.
Yeah, the starting pitching, it seemed like it was going 7 or 8 innings every night.
3-2 to Gutierrez. This is the first quarter of the season with gastritis. Took him a while to come up with that diagnosis, and this is 67th game since then. Has not gotten into any kind of an offensive groove, but he gets that one past Michael Young into the left field corner, and Gutierrez comes up with the first Mariner hit, and it is a 1-out double.
Good try by Michael. And you can see the difference in where Kennedy was playing Mike Napoli. Michael's dive didn't even bring him to the point where Kennedy was playing Napoli, and where Michael was playing for Gutierrez. Much more off the line.
Here is Trayvon Robinson. Switch hitting rookie who was acquired at the trade deadline in a 3-way deal from Boston, but actually coming from the Dodgers. Very briefly, Boston property in the trade that sent Eric Bedard to the East Coast. Robinson made his major league debut Friday after just 3 games at AAA Tacoma last week.
He made a catch in the Angel game to keep it a 0-0 game. Ended up being a 1-0 game. Jared Weaver pitched. The Angels won it in extra innings, but he went into the stands in left field to take a 2-run homer away from one of the Angel hitters and keep that a 0-0 game. Actually, it's fairly early in the game when he made it. It was a beautiful play on the dead run. Had to reach into about the second row to make the play.
He was doing very well at the Dodgers AAA Albuquerque team, made the Pacific Coast League All-Star team this year. And Matt struggling last couple of at-bats by Gutierrez, and now Robinson falling behind 3-1.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere because the first 7 hitters, his control command was excellent. And because it went to 3-2 on Gutierrez, probably led to the pitch being a pretty good pitch to hit. He didn't want to walk him. Now the 9th place hitter Robinson's ahead 3-1.
This one chopped for Elvis Andrus. And he needed to get that one over there quickly. Robinson runs very well. Let's check in with Rick Renner.
Guys, you were talking about the bullpen earlier. You know, Mike Maddox feels like a kid in a candy store with all these options down there. Mike Adams and Koji Uehara, these guys can do big things. I mean, they're ranked number 2 and 3 in all of Major League Baseball and keeping teams off the bases, which gives the Rangers lots of options.
You can always say this, in a perfect world, you don't need a bullpen. You know, your starters go out there and they finish what they start. But we don't live in a perfect world, so we try to just shorten up the game the best we can. Well, our starters have gone deep all year long. We're getting to a point now they're going to need some help. And the fact that we have kind of made ourselves a little bit stronger on the end, take some of the pressure off the starters to go deep every time out. So it's a good marriage for the ball club.
Yeah, and Maddox loves Adams because he's got arms, legs, fingernails, everything coming at you, guys.
Even the fingernails? That is really a complete package.
I'm glad he has all those things.
And again, Harrison missing high. It's 2-0 to Ichiro. He grounded out to second to begin the game. And at .269 average, nowhere near where you expect Ichiro to be, because ever since he came over from Japan 10 years ago, he's been a 300 hitter, usually well above 300.
Nice 2-0 pitch right there. He dropped the curveball in. Again, this would be a good pitch for him to neutralize left-hand hitters. Ichiro's backing up on that one. wasn't too sure that was a curveball coming out of his hand.
Gutierrez leading off of second. Once again, Harrison way high. And his third straight batter, he falls behind 3-1.
It looked like Mac rushed that pitch to the plate a little bit. The arm kind of got behind his body, and it led to the ball being up and out of the strike zone. That's better.
So full up to Ichiro. Jack Wilson would be next. Ichiro, 320 all-time against the Rangers. How about that this year? 132.
One of the keys, we've said it a lot, when you play the Mariners, if you want to beat them, is you have to keep Ichiro off the base. Figgins is on the disabled list right now. And without Figgins and without Ichiro at the top of their game getting on base, one of the reasons the Mariners have a team batting average of 228, scored the fewest runs in the league. They're last by 67 runs. 228 as a team.
Well, would have been ball 4. Instead, it is an infield single, and with 2 outs now, Mariners on the corners. Swinging bunt, basically. Happily getting out to it as quickly as possible, but knew there was no play at first.
Yeah, not many catchers can make this play, but one of them that could, 2 of them that could, were Rangers, Jim Sundberg and Pudge Rodriguez. But when you've got Ichiro running and you're near the line, it makes it a much more difficult play, because Mike risked hitting Ichiro with the ball glancing, rolling down the right field line. Ichiro going to third. Runner scoring from third. You've got 2 outs, so you just have to bear down and get Jack Wilson right here and let Ichiro have his hit.
Jack Wilson has all of 7 runs batted in this his 56th game. And Harrison right after him with a 95-mile-an-hour strike one. First time up. To a sharp ground ball to a first. Moreland not able to handle it. Ackley followed though with an inning ending 6-4-3 double play. And nothing in 2s. He does grab Harrison a favor there.
Really fooled him with that off-speed pitch.
Well, these are the situations where Matt has improved this year, getting out of these jams.
He got the first out of the 3rd inning, and it only had about 25 pitches after that out. He's had to throw 20 pitches since the first out of the inning. So he's trying to battle through this inning, get out unscored upon. Again, there's another, every now and then from the stretch, he goes to the plate quickly, rushes the throw, and the ball ends up high. Arm can't catch up with his body.
This will be his 47th pitch in the 24th of the inning. This Matt's second shot at his first ever 10-win season. One of those wins at Seattle, July 17th. That completed the 4-game Ranger sweep. You think at this point he knows what the mechanical issue is and is just not quite able to execute?
Well, I don't know if that's the issue every time. There's occasionally a time where it appears to me that he rushes his pitch to the plate. But it's just unusual that after 7 hitters he would be impeccable, and then over the last 3 or 4 hitters he's having a hard time locating his pitches.
Way outside there, and it's a full count now to Wilson.
And he's turned what really was set up to be a fairly easy inning with the 7, 8, 9 hitters into a really tough inning for him. Had a great chance to get into the 4th inning with 33 or 34 pitches. Instead, it's knocking on the door of 50.
4 straight 3-ball counts. And that is fair into the corner. Gutierrez scores. Ichiro waved around right behind him. And Jack Wilson, with his 8th and 9th runs batted in of the year, ties it up with a 2-run double.
Just the command issues let the inning get away from Matt. I mean, the Mariners are a team that has a difficult time scoring, but he threw him a changeup, but it's way up in the strike zone. And even though Wilson is way out in front of it, he's able to get the bat on it and hit it into left field for a double. If that ball's down a little bit below the knees, there's no way he's able to do that. Just the command issues to the last 4 hitters have just popped up and made it a real tough inning for Matt.
And much tougher hitter here than Wilson and Ackley, and now the curve well off the plate. Ackley with the double play in the first dropped him under the 300 mark. He is the top hitting American League rookie after coming up June 16th. And 10 days later, he was a home run shy of hitting for the cycle at the Marlins. Out of North Carolina, after just 1 spot after Steven Strasburg in the 09 draft. And it's 2-1 to Ackley. This is going to be pitch number 30 of the 3rd inning, after needing just 10 in the first and 13 in the second.
Matt really threw the ball the first 2 innings as well as he can throw it. Struck out the last 2 hitters, Olivo and Wells. His fastball was sharp. All the breaking pitches were working. And just the 3rd inning has been pretty much the exact opposite.
Well, regains that form in time to strike out Ackley and leave Wilson at second base, but he tied it up with his 2-run double. Songs accompany the fireworks show after the final Friday game of the regular season, and what the T-shirt looks like that will be given away that Sunday. You can cast your votes all during August at TexasRangers.com/vote. So democracy reigns here at the ballpark as Josh Hamilton swings and misses. First time up, he grounded out to the mound. That one served up for an opposite field base hit. And he's digging for two. Robinson, not a great arm, but he throws Hamilton out at second base.
It was a good try because Robinson had to make a perfect throw to get him. It wasn't a long throw, but he had to catch it on the run, and he throws it accurately, and a nice tag, and they get the out at second base. But if that throw is just a little bit off the mark, it's a double.
Well, instead, it is a single. But out number one. How precise that tag had to be. Slid right into it.
And the only way he makes the tag is the throw's about a foot on top of the bag.
1-1 to Young. He flied to center in the first. Trayvon Robinson, great speed. Most feel he'll be a left or center fielder with Gutierrez in center. That leaves left, of course, with Seattle. And a grounder to Wilson. And the first two Rangers out here in the third. Now, Furbush gets another look at Nelly Cruz, who led off the second, and at a 1-1 pitch, hammered a shot just over the wall, just to the left of the visitors' bullpen, for his 25th home run, ending his 0 for 15. Furbush coming out, looking a little more determined here, trying to get a shutdown inning. And it is 0-2. This one did not take long to get out of here at all.
Oh, a hanging breaking ball right in Nelly's wheelhouse.
Furbush also working a little faster, it would appear, here in the inning. Or maybe I spoke too soon, as he's waiting too long for this pitch for Nelson Cruz's liking. Furbush began this year at AAA Toledo in the Tigers system, of course. Not for long. They brought him up. And this one looped into right field. Cruz thinking too as Ichiro fires off balance, and he is out as well. What a strange inning for the Rangers. Hamilton begins it with a single, thrown out trying to stretch it, and the same thing happens on the other side of the field to Nelson Cruz, tagged out over sliding the bag.
tonight. Dave, Tom Fine, a group of guys from Oklahoma. This is actually the Fidel fraternity. Derek, the Rush chairman. What's this all about?
Well, we want to do a Rush event down in the Dallas area. We couldn't think of a better place to do it than at Rangers Ballpark, so we brought a few Rushies with us. We're all having a great time, so we're glad we came.
Relax before you start abusing them. I got you on that one. Why the ballpark? You could have gone to a red-white scrimmage, meet Bob Stoops or something tonight. Why the ballpark?
Well, you know, we're all big OU fans, and we are huge Texas Rangers fans. We're bringing a World Series here this year. We want to see at least one game.
I like your spirit there. Texas!
Well, Mike Karp bounces out to Harrison to begin the Seattle fourth.
Got a number of things to get to here, Dave. Russell Butler from Russell's Confection Perfection sent up a huge batch of cupcakes. Thank you for that, Russell. And Becky Farrell from Bedford. Got to come up with a name for Becky. She sends up our cake balls at least once a homestand. She might be queen of the cake balls.
There you go.
Anyway,
there's
Becky,
her name.
thank you very much for your new batch. Chocolate peanut butter cake balls tonight. Bonnie Bell, who sits right in front of us with her family and friends, sent up a huge batch of chocolate cookies tonight. Thank you for that, Bonnie.
Another ground ball through Harrison this time. And Andrews guns in time to get Olivo.
Well, that's a beautiful play. Olivo is a catcher and not the fleetest of runners, but that doesn't take away from what a beautiful play Elvis made. Slowed down by Matt. I think Ian would have made the play. And as it is, it takes a really nice play by Elvis to make that. Fans are booing Olivo as he slowly comes off the field. In the meantime, I want to thank the Tommy Davis family of Buffalo, Texas, from Davis Feed and Fertilizer. They brought us a huge batch of things from Woody's Smokehouse in Centerville, including a bottle of pickled quail eggs. That's a first. We've never had that before. Beef and turkey jerky, relish, peach cobbler, you name it. Thank you very much to the Tommy Davis family. Also, Reese Davis, their son, is 10 years old today. Happy birthday, Reese. A little bit of an argument ensued, but that wasn't going to be successful. And Eula Mae Thornton Coleman has been a fan of the Rangers ever since they came to Texas. She has a birthday today, 86 years old. So Eula Mae, I hope you're watching today. I understand you watch almost every game except the ones on the West Coast. So we want to wish you a happy 86th birthday. Getting there, Dave.
Take your time.
And we got a nice bottle of homemade sweet cucumber relish from Larry Love. In fact, Larry Love was born in Adams, Massachusetts, which is right next to Pittsfield, where I grew up. Thank you very much for that, Larry.
3 balls to the strike to Casper Wells. The truck has put in a request for the quail eggs.
Quail eggs
They're
are gone.
very interested.
Quail
They're
eggs
too
are
late.
gone.
Too late, sorry. Three and 2 to Wells. As Harrison throwing strikes for the most part here in the 4th inning. Didn't issue a walk in the 3rd, but constantly behind. To Gutierrez, who doubled, to Ichiro, reached on the infield hit, and to Wilson, who doubled them both home. And Wells behind another 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Wells, one of 4 rookies in Eric Wedge's lineup tonight. He has played as many as 5, 3 times, including yesterday. So it's almost as if September began a month or so early for the Seattle team. Now the guy's already up. And of course, there will always be a few added in September, but the 17-game losing streak made it pretty obvious that why not look at your youth. And Napoli will have to make the throw down to first base. Harrison gets what he really needed. A 1-2-3 inning, capped by his 4th strikeout. AT&T trivia question. Michael Young, one of 6 active players to have 2,000 or more career hits with one team. Name the other 5. Mike Napoli to lead off the 4th, to be followed by Torrealba and Moreland. After a really strange Ranger 3rd inning, which featured 2 singles, but Furbush faced the minimum 3 batters. Napoli, first time up, reached on a error by Kennedy at 3rd at a hot shot he couldn't come up with. He ended up at 2nd base, singled home by Moreland. But how rarely do you see 2 thrown out trying to stretch singles to doubles in the same inning? You can go several seasons and not see that in a span of 3 batters. Two 2-1 pitch high to Napoli, 3 balls and a strike. And right through the change of pace there, 3 balls and 2 strikes. We've seen the low 90s fastballs from Furbush, but a slurvy slider, a lot of people think is his best pitch. He's added a cutter this year, and with the deceptive delivery. And a check swing on ball 4 high, and a leadoff walk for Napoli. As we check tonight's 4 leaderboard. And the top hitters in the league since July 23rd, you got Matsui. This is the day Adrian Beltre went on the DL. Matsui, Torrealba 2nd, Napoli 3rd, and Young 5th. As the Rangers have tried to make as painless as possible the period that Beltre continues to spend on the DL. And of course, a couple of days ago, re-aggravating his hamstring, getting some running into the base paths, and out another 3 weeks as a result. Strike 1 to Torrealba, who grounded to 2nd, advancing Napoli to 3rd in that Rangers 2nd inning. With the Rangers scoring early tonight with 2 in that inning, one of which was unearned. And that's what Torrealba continues to do so well. Go to the opposite field for a base hit. First 2 Rangers aboard here in the 4th.
Well, the last 3 hits that the Rangers have had have not been hit all that hard. Josh dinked one into left field. Nelly Cruz blooped one into right field. And now Torrealba bloops one into right field again. The good part about this one is no one was tempted to try to take another base. And it's a good thing because Ichiro is getting ready to load up and throw to 3rd base.
Mitch Moreland, first time up, singled in the run, his 35th of the year. Scoring Napoli, trying to do so again here. Rangers did not score either last 2 games in the first 6 innings at all, and then they had 10 runs over the final 3 innings of those 2 games. Not waiting to get on the scoreboard tonight, but the lead was erased in the next at bat by the Mariners. Now trying to get it back, and ball 1 outside to Moreland. Furbush coming up in the Tiger system, a terrific strikeout artist. Last year, 2nd among all minor league pitchers with 183 strikeouts at 3 levels, A, AA, and AAA. As is a ball and a strike to Moreland. Rangers have dominated this series over the last couple of years, and even at Safeco Field they have dominated. They're 20-9 there the last 2 years. 8-2 so far in this season series. And the all-time series now stands Rangers 257 wins, Mariners 256 wins. And for a lot of years the Mariners had the upper hand. The Rangers reversing that. Just trying to get the lead back here in the fourth. And a curve for the strike, and it's 1-2.
Mitch had a good look at that one. I think he thought it was going to stay inside, though.
Base hit to right field. Dave Anderson throws up the brakes, and you see why. The arm of Ichiro not to be challenged.
Well, good job by Mitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hard hit ball to right field. Now, with nobody out, Dave wasn't taking any chances.
Ichiro with time to really rear back and get everything he had into that throw. And here is David Murphy in an RBI opportunity with the bases loaded, as was the case last night in the 8th.
5 out of the last 6 guys have gotten on base. 4 hits and a walk. They haven't scored. Oh, a tough pitch right there, right at the bottom part of the strike zone. Borderline pitch. Sometimes it's a strike, sometimes it's not. That time it was.
Mitch, first time up, worked a walk. Ground ball here. And the play at second, out there, and that is the only out they get as Napoli comes home and the Rangers regain the lead at 3-2.
Yeah, they probably weren't going to be able to turn a double play on David Murphy. And I'm not sure exactly what Carp felt about that double play. He's playing way back, though, so he probably didn't think he had a play at the plate. But with a force out at the plate, no tag necessary, Carp might have been able to charge that and get the 1 out at the plate rather than at second. As it is now, Rangers have a run in. It's first and third and only 1 out, and they can pick up a run right here with a sacrifice fly. It would have been a long throw because he was back at first base.
Well, Kinsler's gotten it up in the air both times. Flying to right in the first, popping out to Carp in foul territory in the second. Ian lately driving in runs, 4 in his last 4 games. Despite going 3 for 15, but on base by drawing walks, 5. Getting on base and scoring when not driving him in. Furbish throwing a few pitches, beginning with the leadoff walk to Napoli here in the inning. This will be his 67th of the night. Furbish and the Mariners playing in a temperature 30 to 40 degrees above what they're accustomed to at Safeco Field. This is the 15th game in Mariners history that started with a temperature of over 100 degrees. 5 of those 15 right here. But they have not played a 100-degree game since almost exactly 5 years ago. 104 for the first pitch. He's still showing 100. Wilson bobbles. Only the out at second base as Torrealba comes home. And the Rangers get the 2 back here in the 4th inning. But the Mariners got to tie it up in the 3rd.
On 2 slowly hit ground balls that were going to be very difficult to turn. They might have had a chance on that one if Wilson was able to get rid of it quickly. Just a little bit of delay right here keeps that from having any chance to be a double play.
So now 4-2 Rangers, and here is Elvis with Kinsler at first. No doubt expecting to draw a few throws over there. Elvis, an infield hit in the first, grounded to third to end the second. Pretty good looking pitch there, not to Paul Schreiber's liking. Kinsler's starting to run a little bit lately. He went 25 straight games without attempting a stolen base. But he is 21 of 23 on the year. That's top 10 in the league, and his streak of 20 consecutive without being thrown out. One off the longest streak in the league. Brett Gardner, leading with the Yankees, has 21 straight without being gunned down. That is in there for a strike, and it's even up to Elvis.
Borderline at the top of the strike zone. No problem. It's only 1 strike. Elvis is a good 2-strike hitter anyway. Even when he gets to 2 strikes, don't have to worry about it.
Furbish last time out against Oakland on a pitch count, and he got in 62 in 5 innings. Not yet through 4, and he's at 71 pitches tonight in this heat. And Elvis pops this one in Harp's direction, and that takes care of the Ranger 4th, but they get 2 runs, 2 hits. Runs both scoring on RBI Fielder's Choices by Murphy and Kinsler. State to a 2-run lead. And here in the 5th, he's got the bottom third of the Seattle order. Adam Kennedy, Franklin Gutierrez, and Trayvon Robinson, as we are joined here in the booth by Mark McLemore. Welcome back.
Thanks, Ben. Good to be here again. Beautiful night for baseball. 110 degrees.
Thereabouts. It is one of the hottest nights the Mariners have ever played in. And Matt Harrison in the first, second, and fourth, very sharp. Starts this inning with a quick 2-pitch ground ball to retire Kennedy. What did you notice in the inning where Harrison struggled?
He just wasn't locating his fastball. And, whenever you start throwing a lot of pitches, you've lost your location with your fastball. Everything starts with the fastball, no matter who you are with. There are a couple of exceptions, obviously. But for most pitchers, and Matt Harrison is one of them, you've got to be able to locate that fastball, and he just lost control of it there for a short period.
Yeah, it really was for 4 hitters. He got the first hitter of the third inning. He struck out the last hitter, and the hitters in the middle all saw a lot of pitches. One of the hits was Ichiro's little swinging bunt. But the command before that and the command after that's been fine. Just kind of lost it there for a while.
Yeah, he was going up and away and, inside, too far inside off the plate. And you never know what happened in that situation there. His hand might have been getting a little bit wet, might have been rushing a little bit.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought he was rushing a little bit. But, not being a pitching coach, I'm not totally confident in that statement.
Well, but when you're playing behind a guy, you know what his natural rhythm is, and when he starts doing things that are a little bit out of the ordinary.
Right.
And I tell people all the time that a pitching coach or even a hitting coach's job, their job really is to be a camera. You see what a guy's doing when he's pitching well or hitting well, and then when he's doing something different and he's not getting those results, you just compare the 2 photos, and then you make your mechanical changes from there.
Right back up the middle, and Gutierrez is 2 for 2.
Gutierrez isn't hitting anybody else, but he's got a couple of hits tonight off Matt.
Started the day at 195. Trying to get over the Mendoza line.
And Gutierrez has been up over 220 times. He's knocked in 11 runs, has a 237 on base percentage.
And the other unlikely swing, the 2-run double by Wilson, who had driven in all of 7 runs all year.
Yeah, the similarities, though, are between the 5th and the 3rd. Kennedy leads off the inning, makes a quick out, and then Gutierrez gets a base hit. Exactly where we were in the 3rd inning.
Trayvon Robinson grounded to short his first time up. But his main contribution was throwing out Josh Hamilton, leading off the 3rd, trying to stretch a single to a double. I don't know how closely you got to see that play, but an absolute strike right on the bag at second.
He only had one place to throw it in order to get Josh. And, what I liked about that play was Josh was being aggressive, and he took off right out of the box.
Maybe 2 here. 6-4-3. And another inning in which Harrison faces the minimum 3. He's done that for the first 5. And this, his second double play ground ball. 28th of the year, tops in either league. face Hamilton, Young, and Cruz, the same three he faced in the third. A very bizarre inning. With Hamilton singling, thrown out at second. Cruz singling, thrown out at second. So 2 hits, still faced only 3 batters. Josh, first time up, bounce to the mound. Yeah, that is in there. Mark, you were in Seattle when the Rangers were there about 3 weeks ago. So Mariners celebrated the 10-year anniversary of the 116-win team. That team fascinates me for a lot of reasons. First of which involved the postseason that year. How did a 116-win team not at least get to the World Series?
It's called the New York Yankees.
Yeah, they didn't win 116, but they won a lot of games.
Right. They weren't too far behind. You know, the Yankees just came, they came around, and as those teams back then did, they found a way to win. And when it was, got down to that time of year, they started playing their best baseball. We were the best team all year long, and they were the best team in the postseason. They just did a tremendous job pitching, and we just couldn't get them.
Yeah, that staff back then had Clemens, Pettit, Messina,
El Duque. That was pretty tough. When you've got those four, and one of them's in the bullpen, I believe it was El Duque coming out of the bullpen, the first guy out of the bullpen. It was pretty tough, and Mo Rivera was in his prime then. So when the Yankees had a lead, that was pretty much it.
Leadoff walk here to Hamilton as we answer our AT&T trivia question for tonight. Michael Young, one of 6 active players to have 2,000 or more career hits with one team. The others, Derek Jeter, Chipper Jones, Ichiro, Todd Helton, and Albert Pujols. Pretty tall company. So here's Michael 0 for 2 tonight. He's fly to center, grounded to short. Furbush deliberate even with the bases empty, much more so with runners on. As that one is sprayed into the seats. Now, Mark, I've also heard about that 2001 team that when you guys went to New York in the ALCS, you went by ground zero, and that some people think had an effect on the team emotionally, which is obviously quite understandable. Did it carry over onto the field?
I don't know that it carried over onto the field, but if you weren't touched by that, then you're from somewhere else. And I mean, another planet. Going to ground zero was very, very emotional for all of us.
Base hit by Michael, number 2001.
And that's just something you can't get out of your mind, no matter what's going on. And it being so close, not just maybe a month after everything had gone on. We got to meet with some of the families from one of the fire stations that lost some firefighters. That was very emotional. Not only the firefighters that were still there, but their families were there when we came in, and very emotional time for all of us. So I'm sure it had somewhat of an effect on us, but I can't take anything away from the Yankees and what they did. They were a very good ball club, and they were just a better ball club than we were at that time.
Well, as Carl Willis comes out for the mound chat, as you were rolling up all those wins, you got to 70 games over 500, unheard of. What was it like going to the park every day? Was it just a given that you were going to win every night? Did you have that feeling?
Well, that's how we felt. We really felt we were going to win each and every game when we got to the ballpark. We just had that feeling. We even went through a little period where we were saying, okay, well, we're going to win by 3, or we're going to win by 5, and there was some cockiness to it.
You're calling your win margins even?
We were.
Wow.
That was bad.
Wow.
But, we just felt we were that good. I mean, we had a lot of things go our way, no doubt about it. When you win that many games, you've got some luck that's involved. But, none of our starters missed a start. We didn't have any significant injuries. If a guy sat, he may have sat for maybe a day or 2 days. We didn't have any pulled hamstrings or any pulled anything where the 9 or 10 guys that were going out there each and every day missed any time whatsoever. So we had a lot of those things go our way. We had a lot of guys that had career years and some guys that just had, good years. But it was just a lot of fun. We were a very confident ball club.
Well, here's Cruz, who was homered and singled, and now we'll get a 2-0 pitch.
We were breaking in a new right fielder.
He turned out okay, though.
He was okay. He was all right. Not a bad player.
Rookie of the Year, MVP.
I heard early in spring training, the first time anyone saw Ichiro, he was going through his spring training routine, which evidently wasn't pulling the ball, but just hitting like little weak balls to left field. And someone asked Piniella about Ichiro, and he said, "I like to see him hit a ball to the right of second base one time." Is that an exaggeration?
That's not an exaggeration. It actually gets even better than that. What Ichiro did, he kept hitting balls in the dugout. And you know how fiery Lou is. Yeah. Lou, finally said, "Son, I don't know about over there, but you've got to pull the ball over here in the big leagues to be successful." So the very next day, Ichiro's first at bat, he hit a bomb to right field. His second at bat, he hit another bomb to right field. And Lou told him, "Okay, son, take it in." That was it for the day.
Keep hitting him in the dugout all you want now.
Exactly.
I know you can do it.
And, that was just his routine to go the other way. And, after playing with him and watching how he played and what he was able to do, he's another one of those guys that could hit for more power, but his average would suffer. Wade Boggs was a lot like that.
Well, they're going to make the pitching change here. Furbish leaving with the bases loaded, nobody out. Gives way to the veteran former Ranger Jamie Wright when we return. Southwest Friday, August 26th. It'll begin at 7 p.m. with Friday Football Live and finishes up with High School Scoreboard Live at midnight. That is 6 straight hours of coverage every Friday night, only on Fox Sports Southwest. Rising call to the bullpen, 36-year-old Jamie Wright, the native of Oklahoma City. On for already the 46th time this year.
He's still having another solid season. Opponent's batting average is solid. ERA is solid. Pitched in a lot of games. When he's at the top of his game, throwing his sinker and his slider, he can be really tough. A lot of movement on his sinker. I think that's what they're looking for right here is a ground ball, maybe turn a double play. Try to keep this from being a big Ranger inning.
Well, they are loaded with nobody out for Mike Napoli. Was reached on an error and walked, scored both times. I think fans expected Napoli to be a good power hitter, and obviously he's been that, but I think maybe a lot are pleasantly surprised by his eye and his willingness to take walks.
I think a lot of things about Mike Napoli are surprising people.
Not that, though. Line drive, RBI, which brings home Hamilton and makes it 5-2.
Well, Nap's doing what he does best, swinging a nice bat. Not always having hit the home run, but this guy is a hitter as well. gets a hanging breaking ball out over the middle of the plate and gets his arms extended. It's a nice piece of hitting. Didn't roll it over. Just drives it into left field for a nice one-run single.
I think that the thing with Napoli this year is he's been a patient hitter, but he's never hit for this kind of an average. He's a better hitter right now, and not having seen him a lot over the years, one of the reasons might be that he's hitting a lot of balls to right field. He's driving the ball to right center field a lot.
Yeah, he is. I don't remember him hitting the ball to right field against us. I know he crushed us.
Yeah.
But usually his home runs were to left field or left center, even center, but nothing. I don't remember hitting anything to right field.
Yeah, and I don't know if you would agree, Mac, but it seems like most guys that hit for a good average do use the whole field, too.
That one's through the hole. Torrealba with a base hit. That'll score Young. Everybody moves up one. It is 6-2.
And it's just one of those games where everything the Rangers hit is finding a hole. Some of them are hit hard, some of them aren't.
Torrealba's been swinging a great bat. It's a definite luxury for Ron Washington to have two catchers that not only can call great games, but also swing the bat. I know they both had their little down period throughout this year, swinging early on. But I think that was just because they weren't getting that consistent rhythm, those consistent reps at the plate. But now they are, and they're swinging the bats extremely well.
Infield still in. Moreland 2 for 2. Drove in a run in the second. 2 walks and 3 singles here in the 5th inning.
Furbush walked 4 in the game. 3 of them now have scored. Leadoff walk to Napoli in the 4th. Leadoff walk to Hamilton in the 5th. They both scored, as did 2 of them have scored. Nelly hasn't scored yet. He's on third base. Great chance that he will score. But both leadoff walks have led to good innings.
And it's another rally without an extra base hit. So far, a lot like the 8th last night. Really be like it if they can bring home another 3 runs or so. And it's 3 balls and no strikes now to Moreland with nowhere to put him.
The Rangers are coming off a series against the Indians that was a great series. Games were back and forth. Rangers with comebacks late in the game, all close games. This is kind of a departure, nice departure from how tight those games were.
There is ball 4, nothing close. And that brings home Cruz. Moreland gets his 2nd run batted into the night.
Rangers were kind of due for a game like this.
That is Tom Wilhelmsen. Now preparing to come in after right as Carl Willis comes out yet again, wearing a path between the third base dugout and the mound. So that'll close the book now on Charlie Furbush, and the 7 runs in 4+ innings on 8 hits. Didn't strike out anyone, and he walked 4. And now 3 of those 4 walks have turned into runs. The only one that didn't was to Murphy back in the 2nd. In the 4th, he drove in a run on a fielder's choice.
3 hits, 3 walks, nobody out.
And it's Napoli now at 3rd, Torrealba at 2nd, Moreland at 1st. And again, right, not close on ball 1. He's thrown 9 pitches, 2 for RBI singles, 6 out of the strike zone. Dipping down low.
You know, it's good to see the Rangers come out tonight and score 7 runs after this series with the Indians. 3 emotional games. It takes a lot out of you when you're coming back in the 9th inning or the other team's coming back and you lose. That takes a lot out of you emotionally, and just for the Rangers to be able to come back and be in this game emotionally, that says a lot about this ball club. Very resilient. They never give up, and they can carry it over to the next day.
Yeah, I mean, it's emotional at the time to pull games out like that.
It is, but it can be mentally draining when you have emotional games like that. And then you've got to come right back the next day and play again. And it's easy to fall into that, especially when you're changing teams. If you're playing that same team, you can kind of stay with it a little bit. But when you're changing and playing a different team, and a team that's not very good in the standings, it can be tough to get up for that game mentally.
Yeah, I think you see that, Mac, throughout the course of the season, those kind of letdowns, the ebbs and flows of a season.
Dan Cortez, who has joined Wilhelmsen now. Murphy waiting the 2-2 pitch. Right into the mid of Carp, double play.
Hardest hit ball of the inning.
Boy, absolute scorcher. It's so hard, Moreland couldn't quite get back to the bat.
Well, the Rangers have found some holes on some soft base hits. That was one of the hard ones that was caught. That gets down in the right field corner. Probably got at least 2 runs, maybe 3.
I'll give it 2. That was Moreland over there at first base. I don't think he would have scored from first.
Yeah, that's why I looked at my scorecard to see who was on first. I went from 3 to 2.
There you go.
So 2 out, second and third now for Kinsler, already batting for the 4th time. Drove in a run on the fielder's choice last trip. Also flied out and fouled out.
I sure would have liked to have seen him try, though.
Yeah, maybe it gets down in the corner. Well, it's with Ichiro. He might have to bobble it a little bit. It's kind of like Mitch. I ran as hard as everybody else. I just didn't get there quite as fast.
I like to see those what we call them piano guys run.
Like they had a piano on their back?
That's it.
Yeah.
Piano man.
Yeah, Mitch, when you go back and watch that, remember that wasn't me talking. that was Mark McLemore talking. In case there's any doubt now.
Mitch reminds me
when you're watching the replay of that. Yeah, right here.
Right here.
It's Mark McLemore.
It was all
he made the piano reference.
Personally, he reminds me of Usain Bolt. So I don't know where you're coming from.
Well, Mitch, you know what? Mitch is not going to worry about it. He's got 2 hits, a walk, driven in 2 runs today. He's feeling good.
That's his game right there. Drive him in, get him on, drive him in.
Let someone else score from first.
Well, 4-pitch walk, and scrambling back is Olivo to keep Napoli at third base.
It's an amazing inning. The only 2 outs were a line shot right at the first baseman.
Jamie trying to be real careful with Kins and making sure that if he's going to miss off the plate and not give Kins anything that he can drive.
And the Rangers bat around here in the 5th as Elvis Andrus. 1 for 3, infield hit of the first. Yeah, there is a strike. The walk to Moreland gave Jamie Wright 20 career bases loaded walks. He's been around since 1996. Another night for Kinsler without a hit, but still managing to contribute, driving in a run, keeping this inning going. And now 1-2. Right, first face Napoli. Drove it around on his second pitch. He's now at third. Torrealba did the same, now at second. Kinsler at first. And at first it is Carp feeding right. And that wraps up a 3-run Ranger 5th. Nice work, Mark McLemore.
Thank you. I finally got some runs, huh?
You brought your offense with you.
We'll let you come back next time.
Leading the Mariners now 7-2. And Dave and Tom, first here. First off, this is Chris taking his very first Major League game from Australia. What's ironic about this, he actually plays baseball, college baseball. How did this come about? A guy from Australia and taking in your very first Major League game. How did this come about?
Yeah, hey, mate. I basically started playing T-ball when I was younger and eventually got a little older and started calling a couple schools over here. And next thing you know, I was over in Oklahoma playing a bit of baseball and down here back and watching a bit of Texas Rangers.
There we go. Any aspirations of being a pro ball player sometime?
I don't know. If I can stay away from the beers, we'll wait and see, but never know. Partying gets in the way some days.
There we go. Okay, in Australia, who's the best Major League player that ever played? Get that, David. Good catch there. All right. Right in front of you there, mate. Who's the best ever Major League player?
Dave Nielsen is the only bloke that's made a All-Star game from Australia, so definitely him.
All right, there we go. Good day, mate. Good to see you. All right, cheers. Get those beers away from this guy, okay?
Jim Knox ends that interview with an Australian accent.
That's the first time someone dropped good day mate on him before he got to it. Knoxie's dropped that on people from Denmark, people from Holland, you name it.
Wilson sending Hamilton back over his head and off the wall. And Jack Wilson has his second straight double. He drove in both their runs back in the third. Also like his honesty. If I can just stay away from the beer.
Yeah. Pretty tough to beat that. It was a high hanger right there from Matt. And Wilson put a charge in it.
So he's been aboard all three times, these two doubles and the Moreland error in the first. And that brings up Ackley 0 for 2 tonight. And he ended the first with the double play, ended the third with a strikeout.
Well, Wilson came into the game with 149 at bats and 4 extra base hits, all doubles, 7 RBIs. He's got 2 doubles, 50% of his total that he had coming into the game. And he's knocked in 2 runs, and he only had 7 coming into the game, so pretty good night for him.
And the Harrison curveball starting to behave. A lot of early count strikes with that pitch.
Yeah, the only problem Matt has had in this game was in the third inning for 4 hitters. Gutierrez, Robinson grounded out, but then Ichiro had the infield hit, and Wilson had the double on a high changeup. He had to throw a lot of pitches to those 4 hitters. 2 of the balls weren't hit very hard. But before that, no problems. And since that, really no problems.
He retired 7 of 8 until the Wilson at bat. And now 2-2 to Ackley. Very limited schedule tonight in the American League. Again, the Angels are off, heading to New York. They open the series at Yankee Stadium tomorrow night.
That's a picture waiting to happen.
Hope he remembers that. As the count goes full to Ackley.
He just cannot believe his good fortune.
85th pitch of the night for Harrison. Is grounded right to Kinsler. 2 outs. Wilson now at third for Mike Karp. And let's see what we've got tonight, Tom, on our Game Connect buzz from FoxSportsSouthwest.com. From Bob, when a home run is measured, is it measured from the plate to where it hits the stands or where it would have landed?
I think in most ballparks it's measured to where it hits in the stands. I think there's a couple of places where they try to estimate it, but for the most part, it's almost impossible at the stadium to really estimate where it would have hit. That's why there's a lot of times you see a ball like maybe the one Nelly Cruz hit in Cleveland that's kind of a long line drive, and it comes out to 425, let's say. And you know that if it was actually allowed to hit the ground, it would have been maybe 450 or 460. It's just an approximation. It's kind of fun to see. We try to estimate it ourselves sometimes before the stadium gives the figure that they have, but it's not an exact measurement at all. Best estimate, I guess, is the best way of saying it.
There was a home run that I believe Josh Hamilton hit last year into the upper deck, and Brian Dolgan on the radio broadcast actually enlisted a UTA professor to come out and estimate where it would have landed. As Karp strikes out, and Harrison threw 6, allowing only the double to Jack Wilson. One of only 5 hits. Hamilton to lead off the Rangers' 6th. Inning brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot worth $300 in dinner for 2 to Sonic Drive-In. And the Rangers are hitting for Patsy Hall from Pilot Point. If a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Patsy Hall from Pilot Point wins $25,000. You could register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Third Seattle pitcher of the night is Tom Wilhelmsen. Will face Hamilton, Young, and Cruz here in the 6th inning.
Well, Jamie Wright had an interesting line. Gave up 2 hits and 2 walks, but no runs. Thanks to that line drive double play by David Murphy. All the runs were charged to Charlie Furbush. 7 runs on 6 hits. 7 runs, 6 of them earned on 8 hits.
And Hamilton tonight a single, and he began that 5th with a walk. And scored the first of the 3. So now Wilhelmsen just stopped 6 days ago from Double-A Jackson. And he's had an interesting route to the major leagues. He was on the Mariners opening day roster, had not pitched above low A in the minors, and was out of pro baseball altogether from 04 through 09.
We saw him in spring training. He's got a good arm. His fastball reaches the a little bit more than the mid 90s. First one he threw today was 96. I guess that's the mid 90s.
95 there.
But he's got a good arm.
Major league debut April 3rd against the A's in a 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout. First time he had faced hitters above the low A level.
And one of the problems in his short time in the big leagues has been his command. That's his 10th walk now in 9 2/3 innings. 7th walk in the game for the Rangers.
Hamilton taking all 4 of those, 95, 96, second straight walk. Michael Young, who singled his last time up after flying to center and grounding to short, as he works on his next 1,000 hits. And it's pretty much a consensus from Ron Washington on down that there is no reason Michael Young can't get to 3,000 hits, giving him health the rest of the way. He's only 34. And at his career pace of about 1.2 hits per game, he would need right at 5 more years. He's typically going to get you 200 hits or better in a year in which he's healthy. This one is driven high and deep to right field. Ichiro on the track, backs up to the wall. So a bid there for an opposite field 2-run blast by Young.
He just got underneath it a little bit. Oh, it went almost to the wall. Ichiro gives it the jump a little bit before he gets to the wall. See the concentration from him right there. Michael leveled that off just a little bit. It probably would have carried out of here.
So there's the first out for Wilhelmsen. And here is Cruz, who has yet to be retired after coming in 0 for his last 15. Homered leading off the second, singled in the third, and walked in the fifth to load the bases and chase the starter Charlie Furbush. 2 for 2, scored twice. Bangs that one off the face mask of Miguel Olivo at 96, 1-1. Very different from the last couple of nights, where the Rangers waited late to do their scoring. Didn't score at all the first 6 innings. First 7 last night. These Ranger bats getting it done late, scoring in the 7th or later in 11 straight games. As that one gets through Olivo, Hamilton down to second base.
That ball never came up. That hit the ground and stayed on the ground.
Boy, there are the command issues, Tom, that you talked about. Wilhelmsen, the 7 balls in his first 10 pitches. Other games going on. Boston at Minnesota. The Red Sox got 2 in the 9th off of Joe Nathan. Minnesota now batting bottom of the 9th and trailing the Sox 8-6. Three and 2. White Sox beat Baltimore 7-6 with 2 in the 8th. And Tampa Bay over Kansas City 2-1. Pretty well hit left center field. Gutierrez watches this one almost sail out of here. Hamilton around. It is 8-2. Very nearly the second homer of the night for Nelly Cruz.
Single, double, and a home run. Well hit ball. Like a high, couldn't tell what that pitch was. High slider maybe. In any event, it went high to center field and almost over the wall.
Well, this is only the 6th inning, and now Cruz a triple from a cycle. Napoli also has been aboard all 3 times.
The last 2 innings, Josh has had a leadoff walk in each inning and scored.
Yeah, you don't always have to rattle the fences to get rallies started.
7 walks for the Rangers, 4 of them have scored.
The Rangers now 5 for 14 with runners in scoring position. Napoli part of the 2-run second after the Cruz homer reached on an error by the third baseman Kennedy. Led off the 4th with a walk and scored. Singled in a run, greeting Jamie Wright in the 5th. Rangers have scored in every inning but the first and the third, and the third was the inning when Hamilton and Cruz were both thrown out at second trying to stretch singles to doubles. Furbush allowing 2 hits but facing only 3 batters in that inning. But he wouldn't be in the game much longer. And 2-2 now to Napoli.
Popped that one in there at 97.
Sixteen pitches now. And only 6 strikes for Wilhelmsen. Napoli reaching out to spoil that one a little bit on the borderline.
It's cute.
Wonder how long they spent getting ready to come out. That is a fair ball headed to the corner. Cruz headed home, and Napoli drives in his second straight run to make it 9-2.
He spoiled off a good fastball down and away. That's something he's done a good job of this year. And then he gets a hanging curveball and waits on it and drives it into left field. Mike's just, I think he's the best hitter he's ever been this year. Not just for power, but when you look at what he's done for average, made better contact than he's ever made. I think he's been as patient. He's always been pretty patient. He's just making contact on pitches that I don't remember him hitting as well in the past. He's a 300 hitter.
Well, the next Monday home game is August 22nd against the Boston Red Sox. And it is the final all-fans Monday of the season. Everyone in attendance here at the ballpark will receive a red and blue Rangers cap, compliments of Coca-Cola and Tetco. Reserve your seats now at TexasRangers.com. Torrealba going after that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Singled and scored in the 4th, singled in a run in the 5th. 7-game hitting streak now. And over his last 11 games, the 7th time he's had at least 2 base hits, as that one gets past Olivo. And Napoli to second. Second wild pitch by Wilhelmsen here in the inning. It seems like this entire game has been spent with Rangers in scoring position.
Well, Mike has his average up around 300, and his on-base percentage is zeroing in on 40%. You get one of your catchers with that kind of power hitting 300 with a 400 on-base percentage to go along with the job that Torrealba's doing. That we talked about that earlier in the game. What a great combination.
Yeah, and by the way, Napoli behind the plate. Last 11 games, he's caught 4 shutouts. And the pitchers with an ERA of 1.64. Big night with runners in scoring position. Torrealba with a chance at a 3-hit night. 3-2. As Wilhelmsen has spent 23 pitches to get 1 out.
Well, he's got good stuff. He's got a great arm, but obviously he's trying to get comfortable at the big league level with his command. Certainly has the physical skills, though.
That one driven to right field, and Ichiro gets there. There's out number 2. And that will bring up Mitch Moreland, who has had a big night. RBI single in the 2nd, another single in the 4th, and a bases loaded walk in the 5th. So Mitch up to 36 runs batted in now. And a 5-game hitting streak. There's more Rangers in this lineup with hitting streaks than those without. as they've put together 9 runs now on 12 base hits off of 3 Seattle pitchers. And Mitch Moreland has himself a 3-hit night. Napoli held at third by Dave Anderson.
It's great to see Mitch swinging the bat like that. He also worked the walk. He's knocked in a couple of runs. Right on that pitch.
This is only the 6th inning. All these Rangers now batting for the 4th time. And in Murphy's case, he has walked, driven in a run on the fielder's choice, and last time up, one of the hardest hit balls of the night, a scorcher right into the first baseman Carp's mitt. And he got a double play by tagging out Moreland before he could dive back onto the bag. First pitch here, driven pretty well to left field. Robinson into the corner and onto the track for out number 3. But the Rangers come up with a couple more runs, 3 base hits. And we head to the 7th, 9-2. Brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Dave Barnett and Tom Grieve as we move to the 7th inning. And Matt Harrison at 89 pitches through 6 has allowed 2 runs on only 5 base hits. Both the runs scoring in the 3rd, and since then he has allowed only a single to Gutierrez in the 5th and a double to Wilson in the 6th. Miguel Olivo, he's struck out looking, and last time up grounded out 1-6-3. A shot that Harrison deflected toward Elvis Andrus. And Tom, for the 3rd straight night with a fairly weary bullpen, the Rangers starter working into the late innings.
That's exactly what you wanted to see. If Matt can hang in there, the bullpen to get another rest tonight.
Well, let's go back to our Fox Sports Southwest studio. Neil Beasley has our McDonald's Dollar Drink Game Break. All right, Neil, here's Casper Wells. He has struck out both times.
We're talking about the bullpen. Tadayama, Wahara, and Felice won't have to pitch tonight in all likelihood. That'll give them, all 3 of them, 2 days off. Adams will probably not pitch tonight. He had a quick inning last night. So the bullpen will be getting right back where you want it to. And then as as long as Scott Feldman's blister is not an issue and he can return to the long man's role, bullpen will be in good shape. Scott really threw the ball well. Gave up a home run in 3 innings. But other than that, he threw the ball really well in his long relief appearance 3 days ago. See Derek Holland out there. Not sure if Derek was out there as maybe, even though he's starting in a couple of days, as an emergency long man, or if he's just having a little camaraderie with the guys in the pen.
There's a hat trick for Casper Wells. 3 of Matt Harrison's 6 strikeouts.
Well, Matt, you know, today we've talked about this frequently all season long. How much Matt has improved his mental toughness and the ability to pitch around jams. And today was a good example in the 2nd inning. He had to throw 30 pitches or so in the 2nd inning. He kind of lost command, might have been rushing it a little bit. Maybe his mechanics were a little bit out of whack. Threw a lot of pitches, but he got out of the inning with only 2 runs. Rangers have scored some runs, and I'm sure that helped. But since that 2-run inning, he's only given up a couple of hits, a couple of base runners on those 2 hits. He's really settled down and thrown well since that 31-pitch 3rd inning.
He's retired 12 of the last 14 and a strike away from getting Kennedy here, making it a 1-2-3-7. Next pitch will be number 100 for Matt. All 9 of his wins, he has allowed 0 or 1 earned run. 2 tonight, as he gets Kennedy to complete a 1-2-3 Seattle 7th inning. 2 runs, 5 hits, all they've gotten off of Harrison. Blanco tomorrow, and sign up to be the Whataburger Whata-Fan. Don't miss this chance to win great prizes and meet one of your Texas Rangers. It'll be at the Whataburger in Mesquite, 1726 Military Parkway, 11 a.m. to noon. We will meet the affable Andres Blanco. Wilhelmsen threw 26 pitches, allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, left runners on the corners in the 6th. But he starts Kinsler with strike 1. And is flied out, fouled out, driven in a run on a fielder's choice, and walked. Furbush, the starter, 7 runs, 4 innings plus 3 batters on 8 hits, no strikeouts, 4 walks. For the Seattle rotation that is second in the American League in earned run average. There's a broken bat base hit for Kinsler. Fox Sports Southwest and the Rangers have teamed up with Carter Blood Care for the Great American Give. When you give blood to Carter Blood Care throughout the month of August, you will automatically be registered for a chance to win a Fox Sports Southwest VIP experience here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Kinsler's the latest in what is now a 14-hit attack. Elvis had the first, an infield hit back in the first. And since then, he has grounded out twice and popped out. The Seattle rotation, second in the earned run average, toughest to hit. The opponent batting average, the lowest in the league, 237. Most strikeouts, most complete games. But they get only 3.3 runs per game scored for them.
And they just lost 2 out of 3 in Anaheim and gave up 4 runs in 3 games and lost 2 of them. 2-1, 1-0. 1-0 in 10 innings.
Mark Lowe, former Mariner, begins to loosen. Yeah, one of those losses, a complete game by Felix Hernandez, who struck out 12 and did not walk a batter.
That's tough to lose a game like that.
That's actually the 3rd time that Felix has had a game like that this year alone. At least 12 strikeouts without a walk. And nothing to show for it.
I think Jason Vargas pitched the first game in Anaheim when they lost 1-0 in 10 innings, so he didn't give up any runs.
Home run cut there by Elvis at a 95-mile-an-hour heater. 2-2. Or strike 3. So, first strikeout for Wilhelmsen. And here is Hamilton. 1 for 2. A single in the 3rd. Started the 5th and the 6th inning rallies with walks. And ended up coming around to score both times. Wilhelmsen started his outing with a 4-pitch walk to Josh, and he starts him here with a strike. Since the Mariners' 17-game losing streak ended on July 27th. And a rare offensive explosion. They won 9-2 at New York. They came in having won 6 out of 10. That one is flagged down by Wilson out behind second.
They might bloop in, or that they might run into each other trying to get to that ball.
Job by Ackley avoiding any contact with Wilson. So 2 outs. Kinsler still at first, and here's Michael Young, 1 for 4. He singled and scored the second of the 3 5th inning runs. Rangers got 2 in the second. Mariners came back to tie it in the 3rd, and since then 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. All the runs charged to Furbush and Wilhelmsen. As Jamie Wright allowed all 3 inherited runners to score, but was able to leave the bases loaded by getting Elvis to ground out to end that 5th. Not a very typical game at all for Seattle. They have had almost half their games this year decided by 1 or 2 runs.
Yeah, that's a combination of really good pitching and really bad hitting. That adds up to low-scoring games, quick games, close games.
Three and two to Michael. Matchup tomorrow. Alexi Ogando back from paternity leave in the Dominican Republic against Michael Pineda, two young fireballers. 7 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Southwest. Kinsler takes off and Young strikes out. Wilhelmsen with 2 strikeouts after the leadoff single by Ian. On to the 8th, 9-2 Rangers.
Rangers, we head to the 8th, 9-2. Texas leading Seattle. David Tom. Time for the progressive fan of the game. It has to be Katie. She turns 21 years old today. Big-time Ranger fan. Could have celebrated anyone, but you brought your friends and family. Why the ballpark?
I've grown up at the ballpark, and so what better place than to spend my 21st than here with all my family and friends.
There we go. Well, here's the bag. Congratulations. Anything else you'd like to say, Katie?
I want to give a shout-out to my grandma and my Uncle Robert. And would you like to enjoy margarita with us?
No, I'm actually working, but, maybe another night. Tom, Dave, come on down. How about that? All right. Happy birthday. Way to go, guys.
He's actually working, but we're invited. Sharing the revelry. Mark Lowe takes over in the 8th inning. Andres Blanco takes 3rd. Michael Young off. Taylor Teagarden takes over catching for Napoli. Franklin Gutierrez doubled and singled off of Harrison, sends Murphy back to the warning track for the first out of the 8th.
'38th game for Mark. Been pitching well. His ERA was up there a while back. Now it's down to 3.62. And I think the key for Mark, his velocity's been there ever since spring training. The key for Mark is he's getting better and better command the more he goes out there with his not just with his fastball, but also with his slider.
Here is Trayvon Robinson, who has twice sent ground balls to short, last time into the 6-4-3 double play. Robinson over the Eric Bedard 3-way deal from Boston by way of the Dodgers. And Robinson, Tom, a product of the RBI program, reviving baseball in the inner cities that Major League Baseball has run for a number of years. Came out of Crenshaw High School, South Central LA, which has a great baseball history. That's the school that produced Darryl Strawberry, Ellis Valentine, and Chris Brown, all future Major League All-Stars. And maybe Trayvon Robinson will join that group.
I think one of the things baseball battles in the inner cities is the other sports, basketball and football for sure. And you look at Robinson, you can tell what a great athlete he is. Not sure what other sports he played, but I'm sure he could have played football if he wanted to. And so it's nice to see this kind of an athlete decide that he wants a baseball career. In the long run, if a young athlete can play baseball, there's a lot less risk of injury than there is in football, much more longevity, and a great chance, if you're a good player, to make a lot of money in this game. And instead of playing for 4 or 5 years as a running back, you can play for 10 or 15 years as an outfielder.
Caught looking. 2 outs here in the 8th. Well, speaking of youth baseball, Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball leagues in your community. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy youth baseball programs, go to youthsportswire.com. Ichiro batting for the 4th time. He is grounded out, reached on an infield single and scored. Their 2nd run back in the 3rd. And last time fly to left. Ichiro at 127 hits. He is going to have to go a ways to have another 200 hit season, which he's had every year. This one lifted high for Cruz out in right field, and a 1-2-3 9-inning, a 9-pitch 8th inning turned in by Mark Lowe. Getting after it, and how Nelson Cruz has gotten after it tonight, Tom.
He sure has. That first time up, he hit a line shot just enough to get it out of the ballpark. He also had a long double off the wall that drove in a run. He's walked and scored a run. He's also had a single. So 3 for 3. He scored 3 runs and he's knocked in 2. Great night for Nelly.
Let's see if he has a triple in him to complete a cycle. Wilhelmsen, very wild in the 6th inning, allowed 2 runs on 3 hits. And a leadoff single by Kinsler in the 7th, but he got the next 3 strikeouts of Andrus and Young. But behind Cruz here, 2 balls and a strike.
You see Derek Collins throwing out in the bullpen. He's just getting his throwing in now. So I have to think he was out in the bullpen. I mean, I have to guess. I better not say think. I guess he was out there. I would guess he was out there just in case there was a problem early in the game and the Rangers needed an emergency long man. And he waited until the end of the game when it's pretty clear they won't need him in this game to get some throwing in, probably, obviously, for his start in a couple of days. Because it's not customary for a starting pitcher to watch the game from the bullpen, and most starting pitchers on their day to throw would get their throwing in before the game even started. So that's just a guess as to why Derek was out there.
He will start Wednesday, the last game of the series in homestand against Jason Vargas, and he's the top 2 shutout men in the American League this year. Holland leading with 4, and Vargas has 3. Slow roller Wilson, and Cruz finally is retired. So there's one down in the Ranger 8th. Taylor Teagarden will now step up. Teagarden taking over the catching for Napoli. After another excellent night, both behind the plate and at the plate for Napoli, who was 2 for 3, a walk, scored twice, drove in 2 runs. 8th game out of the last 10. Mike Napoli has provided an RBI. So Taylor Teagarden now, 3rd catcher, getting a couple of innings of work. This one to Kennedy. And that's 5 in a row retired by Wilhelmsen. Ron Washington before the game said that it is not at all definite that when Alexi Ogando is activated off the paternity list to start tomorrow, that he will take the spot of a relief pitcher. They may decide to keep the bullpen intact and go to 3 bench players.
I think one of the things that will come into play there is whether Scott Feldman and the blister is an issue. If Scott feels fine, that there's probably not the need for the extra pitcher. If Scott needs a few more days with that blister, then Ron Washington might feel more comfortable with another pitcher out there.
And meanwhile, a 3-hit game for Yorvi Torrealba.
He's up over 280 now.
Three singles, scored a run, drove in a run. Another big night for Yorvi.
Give Mitch a chance for a 4-hit game.
Mitch singled in Rangers' 2nd run of the game back in the 2nd. Single again in the 4th. Bases loaded walk, drove in a run in the 5th, and he singled again in the 6th. And sends this one deep to left field. Robinson, rather circuitous route out there, but he gets it on the warning track. No runs, a hit, 1 left to the Ranger 8th. On to the 9th. Wilson, Ackley, and Karp, the scheduled 3. Every Tuesday afternoon, a different Rangers player, coach, or executive will answer the questions you tweet. Find details at TexasRangers.com/Twitter Tuesday. Darren O'Day on to work the ninth inning. We have another change defensively with Omar Quintanilla taking over for Kinsler at second base. And a chance for O'Day to get in some work. First appearance since his call up on Saturday from AAA Round Rock. And his 12th of the year. This is his third stint with the Rangers. He was on the opening day roster. Missed a little more than 2 months after hip surgery, repairing a partial tear of the labrum in his left hip. Out from April 27th until the 1st of July. And his first major league outing since July 6th against the Orioles. A month and 2 days. First pitch to Wilson. Fouled off. Wilson is 2 for 3. Drove in both their runs with a double back in the third and doubled again in the sixth. And Tom, while the Ranger bullpen was kind of scuffling, it would have been very handy to have a healthy Darren O'Day pitching the way he did last year.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Rangers missed Darren earlier. They missed him all season long. The way big part of the team that he's been the last 2 years.
Boy, nice job. Hard hit grounder by Moreland. Let's check in with John Radigan.
All right, Dave, thanks very much. Down here on the Rangers live set, and this is the kind of game Darren Oliver talked about the Rangers needing yesterday. They'll take it today, though, and they'll celebrate in the clubhouse after this one, and we'll be there. We'll bring you lots of post-game reaction to this one. Mark McLemore joins me. We're here from Ron Washington and the players. The most complete post-game show you could want right here after the game. It's Rangers Live. We'll see you then, guys.
And we will look forward to it. Mariners down to their final 2 outs. Here is Dustin Ackley, 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and struck out. And Harrison tonight went 7 strong innings, 2 runs on 5 hits. The runs and 3 of the hits in the third inning. But a complete recovery after that. He struck out 6, did not walk a batter, and throwing 102 pitches. Mark Lowe worked a perfect 8th with a couple of flyouts and a strikeout.
Whoa, watch out. That was a shot, one-hop shot back at Darren. He stabbed it. Had him all the way.
Made it look easy, didn't he?
Yeah, Ackley takes a good swing. He's going to be a fine player.
So the Mariners down to their last out here, and it is Mike Carp 0 for 3, 2 ground outs and a strikeout. Headed toward the corner. Can Murphy get there? No. Off the wall. And a double by Mark Carp will keep the 9th inning going for Miguel Olivo. And Carp now stretching his career high hitting streak to 9 games.
Just sliced away from David. Hit pretty well, too. Right off Mayor Vandergriff.
So he's at second. Here is Olivo, who has struck out, grounded out, and flied out to Murphy. And 27,771 on their feet behind Darren O'Day to try and bring this one into the win column. And for the first time in a week, Ron Washington could look at the standings and see the Rangers up by more than 1 game over the Angels. It'll be a game and a half. That's a great sound right there, Tom. The O'Day chant.
Haven't heard that much this year.
Second base, Quintanilla. Darren O'Day, in his first appearance in a little over a month, finishes off a resounding 9-2 win in the first of this 3-game series. A lot of big nights by Cruz. A homer and RBI double by Moreland. A 3-hit night with 2 runs batted in. Mike Napoli, 2 for 3, scored 2, drove in 2. Matt Harrison, excellent in 7 innings, and he gets a career-high 10th win against 8 losses, as the Rangers improve to 65 and 51 behind a 15-hit attack against the 3 Seattle pitchers.
It was a good game for Matt because he struggled in the 3rd inning, and again he pitched his way around it, limited the damage, and came back after the 3rd inning with 4 more strong innings. Only had a couple of base runners, a single and a double. 7 innings, 2 runs. Outstanding game for Matt. The bullpen gets the well-needed rest, and starting tomorrow they're just about back where they needed to be. All the late inning guys are well rested and ready to go. Hopefully Scott Feldman's blister won't be a problem, and Rangers will have a well-rested bullpen.
Nelson Cruz is with Jim Knox. Jim?
Thank you, Dave. What a game for the Rangers. What a game for Nelson Cruz. Picked up 3 hits tonight, a home run, knocked in a couple runs, scored 3 runs. You were seeing the ball extremely well tonight, Nelson.
Yeah, I just adjusted with football today, and results are coming. Thanks God they don't need me last 3 games against Cleveland. They do the job, and it's nice to come out today and contribute with the team.
You come up to the final time at bat. You were a triple away from the cycle. When you come up to the plate, are you aware of something like that? If you were, what was going through your mind? No,
I wasn't aware. No, I don't know that. I don't know. I need a triple or nothing like that.
There we go. What about the job by Matt Harrison? 7 strong innings and the bullpen closed it out.
It's amazing the way he's throwing the ball right now. He's command every pitch, go there and be aggressive against the hitters.
All right, Nelson, congratulations on the big night. Appreciate the time, Dave.
All right, Jim, 9-2 as the Rangers lead by a game and a half over the Angels. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. By the Progressive Insurance Group. For money-saving car insurance, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. And by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. Rangers live on the other side after a 9-2 win.